All right, we're gonna send you a couple tools. One, this ratchet, and then some thread tape. I'm gonna show you a couple things. In your machine, there's gonna be a tube connected there and a tube connected here, okay? These are called push fittings, so you might already be familiar with them, but I'm just gonna tell you anyway. You have that little collar right there. If that's in there, you have to push that collar up, hold it up, and then pull these out, okay? When you pull these out, water is gonna leak out of this. It's just the water in the RO housing, okay? It's okay, let it leak out. You're just gonna have to clean it up. There's just no way around that mess. Unless you put like a little bucket underneath it, okay? So you're gonna unhook that. You can actually, I would go ahead and take this off while it's in there so it's out of the way. If you can, take this off while it's in there. If not, you'll pull the thing out. But if you have enough space, you're just gonna twist this off. It's gonna be tighter than what you see right here, but you're gonna twist this off, okay? It just screws into the RO housing. And twist that off. It's gonna look like that, and you're gonna save that because you're gonna put that on the housing that we send you. That's what this thread tape is for. We're gonna thread this up. I'm gonna show you that in a minute. All right. You come to the back here. Okay. Now you might have a different colored brackets. All right, holding the housing up. But no matter what you have a 9/16 ratchet to take these screws off. Okay. There's gonna be probably 4. 2 on top, 2 on the bottom. I usually take the ones on the bottom off first, and it's just this half just slides off those bolts. Okay. Before you take the last one off, you want to disconnect your tube here. This black tubing that is also a push fitting that goes from the processing pump to the top of the RO. Okay, this is where the water goes into the RO and it comes out the bottom. All right. So again, there's a push fitting where you have to hold that collar up. I don't know if you can see that, but you got to hold that collar up and pull the tube out. So you hold that collar up, pull the tube out, okay? And then once that's all disconnected, you get your last bolt off. I usually take that bolt off first, and then this is the last one I'll take off before I remove it. You're gonna have to kind of pinch it up against there, take that off. After it's loose, you can do it with your fingers. You might drop some nuts in there. Pull that off. If you have space, you can push those out of the way, at least that one out of the way. You're gonna remove this whole thing because you've disconnected it at the bottom, okay? Then you're gonna take, this is actually the one we're gonna send you. You're gonna take this, and just wanna make sure you don't drop it on that fitting, because that fitting could bust if you drop it or put too much weight on that fitting on the bottom. That's the good water coming out, okay? We have this hole here that you're gonna put this in, okay? What we're gonna do, and that's what this thread tape is for, you wanna take this thread tape, we call this the RO manifold that you remove from your existing RO housing, and you're gonna tape it up again because it's gonna look just like that. Did have tape, and then we have to retape it. We're gonna put 16 wraps on here. 16 wraps, okay? You just count them up to 16. I'm not gonna do 16 right now. And you just tear it like that. Okay? And then when you put this on here, you just wanna make sure you're not it's not going in crooked. It's not cross-threaded. The way that I do that is I'll turn it backwards. Until I feel it settle in. And I felt it settle in right there. Not that you can see it, but I'm just telling you. And then I start to tighten it down. Okay? And then you just want to tighten it down as far as you can. You should be able to do it with your hand just fine because this is going to be super tight. Okay? And then you just want it to finish with your pressure gauge at the top. All right? And then you'll put this back in like so. Have to maneuver it around the tubing that's in there and the wires. This stuff might be in your way a little bit. Kind of finagle it in there. Pin it up against there like that. Put your top. That. And if you can get somebody to help you, it's going to be worth it. Just like that. Elijah's helping me right now. Sometimes you don't have help. You just kind of got to be patient. You throw these bolts and washers on. I'm just putting one on for now, just because it's going to hold it. Once you have one on it, it's going to hold it up, okay? Then again, you're going to hook this top tube back in. Where did I put that? Still lit. Just going to use this one. That tube coming from the pump, you just push it in and just make sure you push it all the way up in there. If you only push it halfway in, it's gonna leak, but if that happens, you can just grab a hold of it and push it all the way up in there till you feel a little pop. Okay? And then you go around to the front. And again, your good water going to the tank is in the center of the bottom. The bad water that goes to the drain goes in here, okay? Just gonna push it all the way up in there. All right, and then you're gonna make sure that once you kick everything on, make sure there's no leaks, and then pay attention to your pressure, because we want that pressure to be at about 100, 120. All right?